Sarah Spansail is a native Oregonian who remembers indelibly learning at the age of 10 that climate change was accelerating faster than scientists had first calculated. And so as a young adult, she became active with environmental and social issues, working under Energy Trust of Oregon, coordinating a residential energy efficiency program. Now, as a young mother of 2 children, she has personally felt the impact from severe wildfires that make it intolerable for her young children to be outdoors. Still, she passes down her resolve and hope to her boys as they grow in awareness of the pressing challenge to their generation.
You grew up here. Have you seen, since your early years here into the present, have you actually experienced some climate changes that you've noticed?
Yeah, so, well, for one thing, I mean, I grew up here. I left when I was 22 for about 9 years to live in the Portland area. And I think it was maybe a year before I left that the Biscuit Fire happened. And that was a very intense summer of heat and smoke. But then I was gone for almost a decade. My husband and I decided to come home to start our family and have more of a family network support as we were making that decision. And that was the summer of 2013, and I was in my 3rd trimester with my oldest son, Simon, and I felt like I couldn't leave my home because of the smoke was so bad, and just concerns for, you know, the health effects of my baby at that time. And, you know, we had fires when I was a kid, but I don't remember it ever, you know, being as, lasting as long in the valley, the smoke, or just being as intense and thick as it has been in 2013 and 2015, both times.
As far as some simple things that people could do that maybe it would get people started in a less expensive way, perhaps. Do you have any suggestions there?
Well, there's always like very easy things of just, you know, turning off things around your home or unplugging them. I don't know if you've heard of phantom loads, but you know, you're charging your phone and you unplug your phone from the charger, but you leave that charger plugged in.
Okay.
I mean, there is a certain amount of power that is being drawn from that, and it's, you know, best practices to unplug those things. Insulating your homes, air sealing is something that a lot of people don't know about, and if you're in an older home, it can have huge effects, you know, which is like caulking all those little gaps along floorboards or around the doors and making sure that your home's nice and tight. You know, looking in, if you are a homeowner, to the programs that are still available, and especially taking advantage of them, you know, while they still have support, I think is important if you have that ability. And then of course, just, you know, I mean, I know talent, basically getting out there too and supporting your community, especially in the Rogue Valley. We're really lucky that we have so many great organizations that really care about the planet and want to make sure that our valley and, you know, our residents in our community are as protected with the changes that are going to happen. You know, it's inevitable at this point that we're going to have the effects of climate change here. And the more we can be a community and stand up and support each other and support the other communities as they try to do things like to protect themselves in the future, I think is important. But I'm definitely a believer and a proponent that, you know, it isn't, I think that it's possible for our country and, you know, globally for us to transition to renewable energies. And, you know, to me, that's the answer. And of course, there's so much work involved with that and, you know, infrastructure building, but I don't believe it's impossible. And if not federally, like, let's do it in our state, because Oregon's ready to be a leader, I think, in these ways.
Well, one thing that I, just as maybe a final comment, you have 2 children, so you have hope.
I do.
Because you you see your family continuing into the future. Do you have any final appeal that you want to make to the people that might be watching or seeing this video, or just to your fellow citizens in our area?
You know, like, let's care about the future and let's make our children aware of it. You know, I definitely shelter my son, who's almost 4, from a lot of things, but one of the things that we haven't sheltered him from is, you know, the fact that there are problems with the planet And he recently actually had a grandparent pass away, or a great-grandparent. And so he's definitely going into that 3-year-old, 4-year-old phase of kind of what is that and what does that mean. But the other night he said to me, after talking a little bit about his great-grandpa, he was like, "Mom, is Mother Earth dying?" And I was just like, Mother Earth is sick, Simon, you know, but that's why we have to take care of her. And, you know, as you grow up, I hope that you'll do everything that you can do to help make her better. And, you know, that's what we're going to be doing. And, you know, my goal for him and for my youngest as well is, you know, as legislation comes up in the future and they get older, you know, I've been in Salem on lobby days and seen children, and, you know, I look at those kids and I'm like, you know, this is what I hope to do with my children as they get old enough, is have them be a voice, not only for their community, but for the planet.